brought it.
Just before you start, guys, please raise your hand. I'll call on you individually just because of the amount of people we have today. First question, Peter Bach, go ahead.
Hey, Gabe, appreciate you doing this. To start, just how are you holding up, and then can you just give us a timeline of how everything kind of went down with this injury?
Yeah, no. First of all, good to see you guys again. It's been a while. Yeah, no, I'm doing good. It's been a lot of ups and downs, as you can imagine, and some tough days and a lot of good days as well. I'm lucky and fortunate enough to have a great support system around me, and first and foremost, my family and my close friends, and obviously my teammates and the staff that we have around us has been great. So the timeline, goes back to essentially the bubble, 2020. Kind of a freak accident that happens there, and never had any knee issues before that. One thing led to the next, and it just sort of progressively got worse over over that next year, I'd probably say. Started 21-22 season, I kind of started bugging me on a daily basis, and got worse and worse, and up until the point we got the first surgery. I think at that point I didn't really realize the complexity of the injury, and how one injury can, obviously it compensates, and the body is amazing that way, and it affects a lot of different moving parts. So first surgery, obviously, and was feeling good for a couple of games, and then we managed it throughout the playoffs, and I still thought I'd be fine, ready to go after the summer, and obviously very short summer. Realized fairly quickly that things had gotten worse, and we started seeing some experts and doctors, and started seeking out opinions, and yeah, we've explored just about every option at this point to make sure that I'd be ready to go, and I thought I was going to be able to play second half of the season, and especially in the playoffs, but things have we've given it our best shot, and it just hasn't worked out. So yeah, moving forward, we continue to explore options, and but I felt like this was the decision I had to make at this point, for everybody involved, and for my teammates and myself, and yeah. It very well could linger into next year. Like I said, we're trying to explore options right now, and trying to seek the best possible expertise out there, really. I think for me, it's been a long road up to this point, but I'm hopeful, and I'm optimistic, and I'm confident that eventually we'll come out on the other side of this. But it's been we haven't quite gotten past it yet, obviously.
Eric, you watched this team all season, obviously, from the sideline. 2 games left in the regular season. They have 49 games. They have essential. Can you speak about what this team has been able to do, not just losing a couple of guys that you lost in the offseason, but then obviously how they do it?
Well, and it doesn't stop there either, right? Like it's just been one thing after the next, and guys have had to step up night in and night out, and guys have done a great job of it. You look at what was the month of December, where it was, I don't even know the number of guys that were out, but it was important players as well, and guys that play big minutes and big roles on our team. So, but the team has been clawing and fighting and working and doing everything they can to not only stay in the race, but to have a chance at winning the division, securing home ice through the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. So I'm not surprised, though, to be honest with you. Those are guys in there that'll do anything to keep proving once again that we're a heck of a hockey team. Once again, doesn't matter who's in the lineup, whoever is, are always ready to play, and well-coached team. We're a hard team to play against, and obviously we've got some amazing seasons by a bunch of players, and guys have really stepped up. So it's been fun to watch, even though it's been tough at times watching, but it's been good.
Background.
Yeah, no, it's stemming from that. That was the starting point, and many twists and turns have led us here today, and we'll see what the next few months look like. But this was a tough decision to make. Throughout this entire season, it's felt like the playoffs have always been the one thing that, well, no matter what, I'm not going to miss that. Timelines kept getting pushed back, and for a long time we just went away from timelines for that reason, because it just sets you up for disappointment and frustration. And when you're consumed by a rehab and you're consumed by an injury, and anybody that's dealt with chronic pain to any degree, it affects you in more ways than just physically. And I think for me, the last few weeks have been rough, but that's why I wanted to do this, for my teammates' sakes, and for them not to have to answer questions and speculate, but also for my sake as well, being able to sort of have this out in the open, and we're obviously very hush-hush about injuries and timelines and how things are going, but I felt like it was important for me to get this out there.
You've always been there to support your teammates as the captain, but now how are they kind of emotionally supporting you throughout this, and have they been this entire season?
Yeah, no, they certainly have been, and a number of guys have always been. I'd probably say everybody at some point or another has reached out, and at times when I was away from the team, always stayed in touch with the team, and as much as I can with guys and checking in how things are going. And obviously a lot of players have been on this side of things where you're on the outside of the team looking in, and the last question a lot of guys want to ask is, how you feeling, or how's your knee? So guys avoid that, but it's just about kind of staying connected with the group, and staying connected with whether it's coaches or staff or players, and even though you're not necessarily inside that locker room on a daily basis, you still feel like a part of the team, and I think that's important moving forward as well. And those guys are amazing hockey players over there, but not only that, they're quality people and good friends of mine, and they have most definitely helped me throughout this journey, and I'll continue to lean on them moving forward.
Two things real quick. First of all, when you guys made the decision, was it pretty much your call to make, or who were you sort of communicating with on the team sort of to make the decision at the end? And that with the playoffs last year, playing through that, as you've gone through this process, have you sort of thought through, has there been any regret about playing in the playoffs, and how that has affected things going forward in the offseason?
Yeah, I'll say this: there's never been a moment where I regretted anything, especially about last year's playoff run. I can say that, and I feel strongly about that. I'd do anything to help this team win, and especially to go all the way. I mean, that was very special. To answer your question about this decision and to get here, I mean, it's sort of been a ongoing conversation, I'd say, that we've had over a long period of time, but I've been confident all the way through, probably up until the last couple of weeks, to be honest with you, when I started kind of plateauing, and I was confident we were progressing, and we were gaining some really good grounds and making some good progressions up until, I'd probably say the last couple of weeks where things were starting to plateau. And it's been a decision that I've made with obviously the staff, our management, you know, everything. I've just kind of bounced ideas off of people and obviously gotten advice from a lot of people, but ultimately it was my decision, and the team and the organization has done nothing but support me.
So Kyle and Ken.
You mentioned being open to all options moving forward to make sure you get back on the ice. Can you just give us kind of some details of what your offseason is going to look like, sort of what might be ahead for you? Are there more procedures? Is it just going to be more on-ice work?
As of now, I've gotten off the ice just because I felt like there was no need at the time to go out there and try. And sometimes it can be hard to do it in the public eye as well when your progression is constantly being evaluated. And I know that's a part of the game and a part of it. But as far as moving forward, I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you. We continue trying to find ways, consult with experts and doctors, and is surgery an option? Yeah. And we'll see where we go. But yeah, we're going to continue to do everything we can. And I'm going to continue to do everything I can to get this right and get on the other side of things. And yeah.
Ken and Evan.
Well, you know, there's a lot of champions in there. A lot of guys majority of the guys were there, and they know what to expect. I think that's the advantage you have after having gone through it, is you know what to expect every step of the way. Will things be difficult and hard? Absolutely, as they should be. It's the Stanley Cup Playoffs, but I think my message is just kind of be there, support them, give them any help if they need it. But you know, leadership group in there is very strong. You know, we've got plenty of guys in there with experience, but also with just kind of that the passion and the drive to do it again, the hunger to do it again. We've seen it time and time again this season. As a group, to continue to pull together and to find ways to win hockey games, and individual performances, but also the team coming together with a bunch of new players coming in. I've been very impressed with what I've seen, especially second half of the season. Starting to recognize our hockey team again after obviously it was a tough first half of the season in terms of, you know, who was in the lineup on a nightly basis. It was very choppy. There was no real flow to it. Second half of the season, the guys have done an amazing job, and I'm confident in our group in there, and whoever we're lined up against, you know, I like our chances. I like our team.
Evan and Jesse.
You mentioned this could linger in next year. Have you felt enough progress on your end that you feel confident that you are going to be able to play again?
That I'm going to be able to play again? Yeah. I'm confident in that. When? I don't know. But you know, you try and take it one step at a time. This is no different than going into a new season, essentially, where you start with training camp and you go from there. And this is the same thing. I'm trying not to look too far ahead, but I'm confident, and like I said, we'll get through this.
Jesse Venera.
Danny, you used the word plateau a minute ago when you talked about the progress. Since the most recent surgery, has there been anything that you would say is a setback, or has it all just been much slower moving than you guys kind of thought initially?
I wouldn't say there's been any significant setbacks. I would just say going into that second surgery, I was still very confident that I was going to play in the regular season this year, and let alone the playoffs. I personally might have underestimated the injury itself, yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. Obviously, it's been tough, and like I said earlier, timelines and you know, kind of goal dates have kept being pushed back, and that's hard. Did I think at the start of the season that I was going to sit here and do this? Absolutely not. But again, yeah.
how difficult was it, or was it difficult for you to kind of play through those 20 games?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of traveling, I think I'll be around the team as much as I can. At the same time as I have to take care of this and deal with this as best as I can. So as long as that matches up and that works, I'll be around the team as much as I possibly can, for my sake, but also I think for the team and you know, being around the guys, I think would be good for myself, especially for selfish reasons. Just being around 25 of some of my closest friends that I have, and so that'll be good. But going back to the playoffs last year, listen, playoffs is a different animal, and everybody's dealing with stuff. We had guys broken fingers, broken ribs, separated shoulders. We had all of it. And I think we're all going through something. And I just happened to be dealing with an injury that allowed me to play games, but not much more than that. Did the games take a toll? Obviously. But I don't regret anything.
Time for 3 more, Ryan.
Being around the team, trying to be around the team when you came to the playoffs. As the captain, how do you envision your role? Like, what can you do as the captain to support your team, as they go through it?
I don't know. I don't think I quite figured that out yet. It's one thing to be around the team and go through an injury in the regular season, but playoffs is just a different type of focus and different type of preparation and all of that. So I'll be around as much as the guys want me. Obviously nothing will change in terms of how I act around the guys or things like that. I just might need to get up to speed on some of their superstitions as they evolve here during the playoffs. But we'll see. We'll figure that out as we go. But I'm not planning to change, and I know the guys aren't planning to change the way they treat me. I still take a lot of heat in that locker room, which is the way it should be. So that's a positive.
Peter.
I know you said injuries, obviously, but now that there's some finality with this season, can you disclose just what this injury is?
It's a cartilage injury on the bottom of the patella. That's allowing me to do a lot of things, and I can walk around and look normal doing it. But when it comes to skating, they're just that's a different beast, and especially in the NHL. I mean, you got to be able to do everything at top speed, and I haven't been able to get to that point, unfortunately.
And you mentioned that surgery might be an option again at some point. What are you sort of hearing from doctors in terms of the advice on that, and if that were to become an option, you sort of have, I guess, a plan on when you would want to do it to optimize recovery, sort of trying to get that?
Well, we're still in a lot of talks in terms of trying to get more information from different doctors on what the next step could be, and what that procedure would entail. I think it's a big decision, so it needs a lot of. I'm doing as much homework as I can on different options, but we haven't gotten to the point yet where I know exactly what that would mean. But nonetheless, I'd like to start progressing, moving forward as fast as I can and as soon as possible. So we'll see when that is.
Great. Thank you, Gabe.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.